Okay, we're going to give it a go. Hello, hello. I'm back in the big hat, which might have to go because it is very, very windy here, and I really do hope that you can hear me. Because I really, really want to finish unlocking peace here. I really want to finish unlocking peace here. I have a feeling I might have to just take my hat off, and I might just have to sprint. Will you be able to cope with me sprinting? Maybe if I flip round a bit. If you find you just have a different view. Hang on a second. Let me see if I can flip round. And I can have the sun behind me. Oh, my favourite restaurant, by the way. Here. Lizzie's. So right, I'm going to sit in my hat. I'm going to get myself sorted. Now I've got hat hair. Hello, everybody. For coming on live. Do say hello. I wonder if I'm going to see comments tonight. I don't know. If you're coming on, do say hello. I'd love to hear from you. I'd love to see you. I'd love to hear from you how you've been finding unlocking peace. Oh, I so love being here with you all. It's been so fun sharing my little Greek holiday with you. And today we are going to go into the final piece. We are going to be talking about bringing it really all together. And the final piece is when I want to talk to you about when you feel completely overwhelmed and engulfed by emotions or engulfed by life, when there just feels like there's too much going on within and there's too much going on in your outer world. How on earth do you find peace in that? Or how do you find the wherewithal to start to unlock peace when there is so much going on? So we're going to bring it all together. If you're watching live, would you let me know if it's too windy? I might have to come back on later and do it. Let me know if you can hear me okay. I'm hoping with my earbuds in, we should be okay. So, sit up straight. I hear my mum saying, sit up straight, Alex. We're going to sit up straight and we're going to talk about this overwhelm of feelings, this overwhelm of emotion, this overwhelm when life just gets too heavy, when you feel like there's just so much going on. When you feel those emotions, when you're in situations or circumstances, maybe of trauma, when you just have these intense emotions going on. I remember when my mum was dying, there was this intense sadness of when she did die, but also there was relief. There was relief because my mum was no longer, she would have hated the way she was, so there was relief for her that she was finally at peace. There was guilt because I felt relief. There was sadness. There was just this heaviness of the sudden realization that life is finite. It does end. And all of those emotions raging within my body were incredibly overwhelming. Another time when I realized that my relationship wasn't what it was, and the shock, the intense rage, the sadness, there were so many emotions. I think I could have picked every single one on the feeling wheel: sadness, anger, disbelief, just stupidity, shame, guilt, resentment, all of these just, it was almost too intense for me to feel all in one go. So I ended up numbing myself a little bit like I did when my mum died. You end up numbing, you shut this wall down. The only problem with numbing your feelings is that when you numb, you can't just numb yourself from one feeling. You numb yourself from feeling in its entirety. So you numb yourself from feeling joy, you numb yourself from feeling happiness. So it's so important to recognise this, as I've talked about recognising your feelings. Feelings are there to tell you something. They're there for you to feel into it. And there are also circumstances where there is just so much to do, and this can cause intense anxiety. You can feel intense pressure. Should we put that disgusting? It's actually lovely feeling the wind. It's very, very hot here today. You can have those circumstances where you remember when we were in lockdown, and I know for some of you who are watching in Australia, you're going back into a lockdown, or some of you are already in the lockdown, and you feel that intensity of everything that you suddenly have to do. You remember when you're thrown back into cooking for everyone again, teaching everyone again. You had to do everything yourself again. It was quite an intense period of time with everyone put into one situation and the pressure to get it right, to do it right, to be the best. That is circumstantial overwhelm as well as emotional overwhelm. And all of this together can cause so much stress and anxiety, brain fog. Don't you remember the brain fog? You just can't see the wood for the trees. You feel heavy. You feel weighted down, and sometimes you just feel like you're procrastinating so much because you just don't know what to do first. So this is what I want to talk to you today about, and how you can navigate your way through to finding peace in those situations. You don't have to shut yourself down. So when we talk about both of these, I want to introduce you to one of my favorite thought leaders, and one of the most empowering books I've ever read was The Power of Now by Eckhart Tolle. The Power of Now. You bring yourself. Oh, this is a jumping fish. I just saw this fish. It's like a silver cloud just went across the blue sea. It's absolutely beautiful. I'll show you. I'll give you a tour in a minute. So this power of now, the concept of the power of now, it can help you with both, in responding to both. You can bring yourself into this place of breathe. I'm feeling overwhelmed. I'm feeling totally engulfed with emotions, with circumstances. I'm going to bring myself into this present moment, and you use your breath to do that. You bring yourself into the breath, because where you are right now is the only moment that you can influence. You cannot change the past. The past is done. And the more you relive it, this is what I meant by pain is optional, pain is inevitable, suffering is optional. Circumstances happen, you cannot change them once they're done. And they might be painful, and shit happens, excuse my French. But the suffering piece is the optional piece. The suffering comes from when we play it over and over and over and over again in our mind, thinking things could be different, and they can't. It's done. So this is where Eckhart is amazing, because he talks about becoming the watcher of your thoughts. What are you saying to yourself? How can you change things differently? And this is one of the key principles we talked at the moment. So when you're feeling this overwhelm, bring yourself into the moment now, because that's the only one you can change. You're here right now. You're going to be okay. You repeat, remember? And when you try and think about the future, this can also cause us overwhelm. How am I going to get it all done? How am I going to feel when my mum dies? How am I going to feel if I'm on my own? You're never going to know until the moment it happens, when the moment becomes the moment. So the only thing that you can do to influence the future is the moment you're in right now. So breathe. In these moments of overwhelm, your breath is your biggest tool. Bring yourself into this moment and breathe, because this is the only one that you can influence. And you need to bring yourself into a place of peace, because this is where you need to be emotionally intelligent. Do you remember? We talked about emotional intelligence being the ability to access your intelligence, even though everything is clouded with emotion. You need to be able to clear the fog of emotion so that you can access your intelligence, or you can be able to stand in your emotions and access the intelligence within to make the right decisions and the right choices. So that to me is one of the biggest tools when it's emotional overload, circumstantial overload. Bring yourself into the present moment. Remember, we don't compound our emotions. We don't layer up. We don't get frustrated that we're feeling emotional. We just clear them one by one. And you can go back and watch the rest of the series, the preceding series, and work out which one you're going to use to clear which emotion. We don't trap our emotions. We let them flow. Feelings are energies, and energies need to move. Emotion, energies, emotion. We let them move. We do what we need to do. And if we've been through a traumatic experience, we don't fix. We try and fix things so quickly. Fixing is just like brushing things under the carpet. It's like trapping things in. When we're emotional, we heal. And we heal by letting the air in. Fixing's like putting a plaster over a wound. And you know what it does when you have a wound, you put a plaster on it, all it does is it goes soggy. It might protect it, but it won't ever heal until you let the air get to it, till you let the light get to it, till you let it breathe. So when you're feeling these emotions, you have to heal, and the way we heal is we let the light in. We let the light in. We let the light in the air heal it, and we look at it. We ask ourselves, we do that we do the assessment, and we ask what we can do to heal. And the way we heal is we let them move and we let them flow. When you're feeling overwhelmed with emotions, remember the power of now. Breathe, bring yourself into the present moment, let everything flow. Clear each emotion as it comes to the surface. Keep going until there's nothing left, until you feel just that sense of peace. you are a peach. You're going to be okay. And then we get to the circumstantial overwhelm. When you've got so many things to do, the two key things that have massively helped me is, again, that power of now, the concept of now. When we're feeling overwhelmed, or at least when I do, is that feeling of I have to do everything right now. I've got so much on my to-do list that has to get done right now. Take a good look at your list. There are two things that have hugely helped me work through these massive lists that are always on my list. I use the concept of the 4Ds, and for those of you who've been around with me for a long time, you'll know this. The 4Ds is when you look at your list and you say, right, what can I ditch? What is on my list that I'm just keeping on my list for no reason because it's just there, like learning to play the guitar or learning to play the piano or just because I feel I should. Ditch it. Drop it. The second one is you look at it and you go, well, what can I delay? What doesn't have to be done right now? What can I push out? What can I defer? And then my favourite, what can I delegate? And this used to be a really hard one, but it's now my favourite because I used to be a perfectionist. I'm a recovering perfectionist. I used to have to do it all myself. I had to do everything myself, and then I would become the martyr because I had to do it because I'm the only person who can do it properly. No. I can breathe, I can let it go. And if it goes wrong, I'm a peach. It doesn't matter. So somebody else can do it. If they get it wrong, it doesn't matter. We'll learn, we'll move on, and we'll do it better. So we delegate. We allow somebody else to help us. We ask for support. And we breathe, and we know that it's going to be okay because we're a teacher. And then the final things that are left on your list are the only things that can remain on your list are the things that only you can do. I can only do this live. It's me. It's me. There's so many other things that other people can do to help support me. So that is how you can help yourself when you feel like you've got so many things to do. The power of now. You don't have to do everything now. Use the 4Ds. And then everything else that is left on your list for you to do. The best thing for me to help my mind is I schedule it in. I look at my week, my month, and I plan it in because then I don't feel like I have to do everything now. Like I know that I'm going to do Calm for Life, and I knew that I was going to do this. I was feeling overwhelmed. I had so many other programs, so many other clients to coach us. Lockdown, I couldn't do it earlier this year when everything came to me. Like, okay, so let me schedule it in. When can I do it? And then I can let it go from my mind because I know it will happen then. It is going to happen then. Like, when am I going to do the packing before we come on holiday? But I know I'm going to do it then. It's okay, I don't have to do it now. What can I do? Schedule it in. I know I'm going to get it done. And when everything is scheduled in, I know it's going to get done. The trouble is we try and think we have to do everything in this moment right now. So schedule everything in. I need to let it all go. I need to stop it. I need to feel at peace. Because you know everything's going to get done, or someone's going to get it done for you, or it just doesn't matter anymore. So much to feel the wind. It's been so hot today. Let me just hope this is going to blow away. So, before I get blown away, I hope you've enjoyed that final piece of the puzzle. The overwhelm, the emotional overwhelm, the engulfed by situations piece. And we just breathe. And we remember the words that come from it. The power of now. We can only control the moment right now in our thoughts and in our minds and in our actions. We can create peace within, and that will be reflected in our outer world, and we will radiate peace, just like we radiate happiness. The more we are, the more we radiate, the more we attract, the more we become. And I hope you can take that peace with you. So shall I summarise what we've been through in the last, well, it's been 6 days because I didn't have any signal one day, did I? For these last 5 sessions, the keys to unlocking peace, the Heal Yourself Happy key, as part of the happiness principles of peace and calm, and how you can find peace within by using this key. We've been through 5 key emotions: panic and anger. To grief, the lock for that key, we return to love. We find the peach and we walk with fear as our friend. And we are excited in ways that agitate us and rob us of peace. We find calm, we de-stress, we work out what helps us. This is so important for our long-term health, and we find our why in order to do that and make the right decisions to do that, find that calm. And we look to anger and resentment. grief to turning the key for this piece is forgiveness. Oh, I'm seeing comments. Laura, hello. Oh, it's so lovely to see someone. I hope you're all there. I can see a few people watching. Anger and resentment, as I was saying, the grief, that's awful, doesn't it? But you know what I mean. A WD-40, if you've got a sticky lock and you can't unlock that piece within, you find forgiveness. You find forgiveness. This is an act of self-love. This doesn't condone anything. This is a radical act of self-love. You find forgiveness for you, to find the peace for you. Celine, hello. Oh, good. So happy to see people. Then we looked at the crankiness and the moodiness. This is all about awareness and gratitude, and we bring gratitude back in our life to try and soften our mood. This is about those niggles where something is not being addressed, and we use that process of assessment. What is really going on in my body, in my mind, in my soul that I'm ignoring that's putting me in this bad mood, and I'm throwing hot potatoes at everybody? Hello, Dan. We do that and we bring gratitude back, and that is how we unlock peace. Oh, there's loads of people. Hello, Susie. And then today we have looked at the emotional overload, the engulf, when we're engulfed by things that we have to do. And this is where we find perspective, and we bring ourselves into the now. We find the perspective, always about finding the perspective, and we bring ourselves compassion. Always bring yourself back to the compassion piece here. How can I help myself? No judgment in any of these emotions. Because if we go back to our founding principles and where I started, feelings are there to serve us. We are all human. There is no bad emotion. They are human emotions, and they are just trying to tell us something. They are signs. They are feelings that shape us, that can help us grow, that can help us learn. And in just knowing that, find peace. Don't judge. Criticize yourself for feelings. And then don't compound your emotions. Don't lock in your emotions. This can be an incredibly dangerous thing, especially because they can become toxic and become dark. We release our emotions. Emotions are feelings. Feelings that need to be released. Feelings is just energy in motion. Energy in motion. Emotion. Please take that with you. Just let. Oh, I've got miles enough hair as it is. And I think my hat would definitely have flown off, wouldn't it? My beautiful big hat would have just been flying off into the open sea. So don't compound your emotions, let them flow. And remember the third principle, feelings are a response to our thoughts. Who was it? I can't remember who was it. I think it might have been Buddha who said, our thoughts dictate our feelings. Our feelings create emotions. Our emotions influence our behaviours. Our behaviours create our actions, and our actions create our reality. So thoughts become things. Mike Dooley said, thoughts become things, so choose the good ones. And when we're talking about emotional mastery here, your thoughts create your feelings, create your emotions. So become the watcher of your thoughts, like Eckhart Tolle says, and just remember that the primary cause of unhappiness is never the situation, but the thoughts about our situation. So you can change your thoughts. You are in control of your mind. You have the power of your mind. And this is empowerment. You can choose your thoughts. Master your mind. This is emotional mastery. This is emotional mastery. Shitty things are always going to happen. Pain is optional. No, pain is inevitable. Suffering is optional. I keep getting that the wrong way around, don't I, today? When we can look at our emotions and our feelings and we work with them, then we can respond rather than react. We can come from a place of empowerment. I choose this. I choose to think this. I choose to feel this. I choose to do this. I choose my outcome. And remember, you can always walk with multiple emotions at one time. You can walk with joy and sadness at the same time. You do not have to let sadness rob you of your joy. You do not. You can walk together. As I said, I always remember when my mum was dying, although it was one of the most incredibly sad moments of my life, I was also feeling so much joy and gratitude for the time that I had with my dad and my sister. Just us. It was lovely. And then we come back to that emotional mastery piece and the emotional intelligence. If you take away one thing, remember this. When your emotions are high, your intelligence is low. You cannot access your intelligence if you are emotionally clouded. You become emotionally intelligent, and you can access your intelligence when you're emotionally charged, and you can do it from a place of empowerment. You can stand firm, and if you can't, then learn how to clear your emotions so that you can access your intelligence. There's nothing wrong with human emotions. Recognize them, let them go. So that brings me to an end of this beautiful series. I've so loved being here with you. I've loved writing this. I've loved sharing everything that I've learned with you. And I've loved doing it from Greece and all of these wild and crazy places with the wind and the waves and wherever I've been and my big crazy hat. I'd love to hear from you all. I know some of you have been telling me what you've been enjoying, but I would love to hear from you. What have you taken away? What has been your biggest aha moment? What are you taking away? What are you putting into practice? Are you finding peace? Has this helped you all? I'd love to know. I would love to know. Now, these 5 sessions are going to stay here in the Heal Yourself Happy Hub as my gift to you until Friday next week. So you can watch them as many times as you like. You can invite your friends, your family to come in and watch them. On Friday next week, I'm going to be taking them down from the Heal Yourself Happy Hub, and they're going to be put into the Calm for Life program. And I've talked about the Calm for Life program in every single session, so I'm not going to talk about it very much. If you want to know more about the Calm for Life program, please go back and watch the preceding sessions where I've answered all the questions that I've had. Sorry, am I flapping away? Sorry if I'm flapping away. Oh, my post-it notes are now flying off the end of the boat. That's crazy. But for those of you who are joining me on Monday for Calm for Life, I cannot wait to be with you. I cannot wait to be with you. This is where we're going to learn the difference between circumstantial power and personal power. Both are really important, but I'm going to take you through all of the different circumstances that can trigger strong emotions, and we're going to work through all of the tools that can help you so that you practice them up front, so that you can always stand in your personal power no matter what is going on around you. When you're in your personal power, this is peace, because you are in control, because you are in calm, because you know no matter what, you are. And we're going to take this to the next level, and I'm going to help you with your circumstances and your personal circumstances. So, if you're watching, say hi. Thanks for saying hi. If you're watching on replay, please do say hi. As I said, I would love to hear from you. What were your biggest takeaways? Please do share either in the comments below or out in the hub itself. I would love to know. Please do invite people to watch, and they've got a week to watch it. Go back and watch all of these sessions if you wish to. And for those of you joining Calm for Life, please remember to request access to the private group that we're going to be running it from. I will be going live on Monday morning. I'm going to let you know the time, because I'm just looking at the time differences and need to let you know what time that will be. Watch out for that. And what else was I going to say? I can't wait to be with you. And the last thing I was going to do was show you around my favourite place. Hang on one second. Let me just wedge down everything. Just put everything down underneath the hatch. Go. Shove that under there. Hang on 1 second. I'll bring you with me. So this is Peony. They always have the most amazing summer party here, but for the last 2 years they haven't been able to have it because of COVID. It's just such a lovely, beautiful place. I'm going to turn my camera around so you can see. Bear with me 1 second. So there we go. That's the big open sea. So we've just come in that way, and then we found the most amazing place to more. Look, it's like we've got this tiny little pool all to ourselves here. And then this is my favourite cocktail bar. James and I are going to go and have a few drinks there later. Lizzie's. A little bit windy. But very busy this year. You can see this amazing bar just up there. You can see around here. It's often more over there. There's some amazing rocks that the boys jump off. It's just absolutely beautiful. And some friends, I believe, stayed in that villa once, just over there. So, we are off to Cibber tomorrow. James's family and sister have arrived, will be hopefully arriving tonight. We're going to go and see them tomorrow, spend a day with them, and then we're off to Catalonia. So I'm sure I'll pop in and talk to you from Catalonia, because that's also another one of my favourite places. And I will see you all